Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia and today I am here with the Joy in Your Feed tag. I was tagged by Cousin over at Always Doing and I just, you know what, right before the election or the week of the election, I was just not in a joyful place. I didn't want to be, I needed to be focused. But now I'm ready for joy and I'm ready to bring a little joy to your feed. So let's get right to it. Prompt number 1 is a book you can always go back to and feel happy. So I don't do a lot of rereading, but one book that I have reread several times and does always bring me joy when I read is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It is a classic, but it's also a romance story, and I think that's where I find a lot of joy in it. Also, I know what's going to happen, right? I know what's going to happen, and there's comfort and a lot of joy in that. All right, prompt number 2, your standoms, your number one joy-filled fandom or fandoms. I'm not great at fandoms. Because I tend to not reread a lot, and I don't get that intense about books or movies. So I don't know what a fandom. I mean, for a while I was super into the Jane Austen fandom, like, yeah, a lot. So maybe that would be one. It does bring me a lot of joy. Prompt number 3 is type of book cover you'll always pick up in a bookstore. Okay, I was thinking about this. There's a couple of things that really call my attention when I'm browsing at the bookstore. One, romance novels with the like classical, like, you know, hair and the wind and the bare-chested men. Those classic like romance covers I will always pick up. I'll take a look at them and see if I like them. The other thing that does tend to draw my eye a lot is Eiffel Tower pictures or any like symbols of France in the cover. I will pick it up. Most of the time I also end up putting those books back because I'm really picky about the books in France I pick up, but I will at least grab them and take a look at them. Yeah. Prompt number 4 is a book trope that you love. And I have to say that I'm still experimenting a lot with different tropes, but and with what tropes I like in different genres, right? But one genre that is very tropey is romance. And a few of the tropes I really like in romance are the fake relationship and the arranged marriage tropes, at least in historical fiction. That's where I really like to see those. Though the fake relationship, I've had a lot of really good luck with in contemporary romances as well. So I love those. I also love the love triangle trope of like, here's a girl and she's got these two men vying for her attention. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I don't know what that says about me, but there it is. Prompt number 5 is an anticipated release that makes you happy when you think about it. Okay, we're towards the end of the year, and I haven't been looking ahead to the next year of book releases. But one series that I'm really, really looking forward to, and it doesn't have a name yet, I don't think. Maybe it does, and if it does, I'll list it down below. But it's the upcoming Adriana Herrera series that feature Latinx main characters in Paris, in 19th century Paris during the World's Fair. She has talked about this on social media, and this series sounds like it was made for me. Latinx characters in Paris, like, hello, in the 19th century, that's what I'm all about. This is me. She's writing these for me. I don't know exactly when they're coming out. I don't even know if she has started or finished writing these books, frankly, and I'm like, I need them in my life. I do. Prompt number 6 is an author whose full canon of books you love. All right, and what I realized when I was thinking about this question is that I tend to jump around from different authors and genres a lot, so I don't tend to read like a whole canon from an author. With some exceptions. Jane Austen's a big exception. Agatha Christie. I haven't made my way through all her works, but I read all her stuff. But the one I really want to mention here is Sileno Garcia, because I have just loved all of her books. I haven't read all of them. Signal to Noise I still haven't read, and I haven't read some of the collections of short stories that she has a short story in, and I know I want to get to those as well. But I just have loved everything that she has published. Prompt number 7 is your coziest go-to reading snack or drink. And the minute I mean, it's finally starting to get a little bit cooler here in Southern California. But tea, yeah, a nice tea. Ooh, with toasted buttered bread. Oh, in fact, I kind of want some right now. Prompt number 8 is a book you've shared with family or friends. Okay, when I was thinking about this, 2 things really jumped to mind. The first one was Mexican Gothic by Sileno Garcia, because I basically forced my sister to read this book, and she loved it, and she even had her book club read it. So that. Then it was also the Jasmine Guillory romance novels. Those are really fabulous. I also basically forced my sister to read those, and she ended up loving them. And in fact, she has read more Jasmine Guillory books than I have. I have most of them back there, and I still have one to go. I think I only have one to go. Anyways, my sister has already done with them, and I am now behind. Prompt number 9 is a fellow booktuber or book blogger whose content always brings you joy. And frankly, there's a lot of people. I don't watch people that I don't like. In fact, I will even watch booktubers who don't necessarily read the same things I do, just because I like them and I like their personality. But let me tell you a few people that really, really bring joy to my feed. The first I have to mention is Cousin over at Always Doing, who is just such a delight. We have a lot of overlap in the things we read and the genres we like, and she's just always a pleasure. Always, always, always. Next is Shannon over at That's So Poe. There's quite a bit of an overlap in the things we like as well, and we've buddy read and kind of chatted about some books, and again, always a delight. I just like the points of view that she brings and the analytical and critical eye with which she reads. Another person is Olivia over at Olivia's Catastrophe. She is just fantastic, like just so great. Again, someone that I do have a lot of overlap with. We don't always agree on our takes on every single book, but all the things we've read, that we both of us have read, we for the most part like have very good things to say about them, and I just really enjoy her content both on YouTube and on Instagram. She has the most creative Instagram pictures. Like, she spends a lot of time with those, and I'm always in awe of her and her work. Another person that always brings me joy is Priscilla over at Bookie Charm, because she reads things that a lot of people don't always read, and even if you don't read it, like, it's a delight to just watch her talk about them. For example, one of the things she reads and reviews on her channel is children's picture books, and she always makes me want to pick up more picture books. In fact, I was starting to, before the pandemic forced all libraries to shut down, and I'm still basically in quarantine in my house, so I haven't stepped foot in a library again. But once I can do that again, I will be picking up picture books, and it's all due to Priscilla. She also has awesome Latinx recommendations all year round, by the way. So definitely go check her out if you haven't already. Man, I'm looking at like my subscription feed, and I'm like, I could just talk about everybody here, but I'll just stick with that for now. Yeah, all right, I'll stick with that. No, you know who else I need to mention? I need to mention Marina over at Young, Gifted, and Black, because she has the most infectious smile. When you see her smile and you see her like happy about a book, like, she makes you want to pick it up. She makes you want to smile. like a lot of joy. Like just look at the thumbnails in her books. It's so delightful. Actually, even when she's ranting about books or saying negative things, like she's a delight to watch. Period. So there you go. There's a few people that bring a lot of joy to my feed. And then prompt number 10, it's name something about the content you create that you love. And let me tell you, this question is a little bit difficult for me. I've talked about this with my therapist, that I have a hard time accepting compliments. I always want to dismiss them and say, no, 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 no. But one of the things that brings the content I create that brings me the most joy are what Cousin calls my deep dives into certain topics. So a video I did on reproductive rights in fiction, I love, and I need to do actually an updated version of that, and I will soon. I have 2 videos around the topic coming up, well, that I have planned in my head, I should say. I also did one on menstruation in fiction. Loved doing that video, loved talking about those things. And then most recently I also did a video on Nigerian authors that I've read recently, and not everybody watches when I post those videos, but I feel like the people that do and the comments I get are always so engaging, thought-provoking. It results in a lot of like more critical thinking and it feeds my creativity, which feeds my soul and brings so much joy. So that is it. Those are my answers here. I will list all the people I mentioned, including Cousin, who tagged me for this video, down below, and the original tag creator. And tell me, what kinds of books bring you joy? I'm always looking forward to bring more book joy into my life. I mean, God knows my TBR is long enough, but I am always happy to expand it. I am a firm believer that the longer your TBR is, the better. I mean, okay, I'm a mood reader, so I need options, right? I'm always in need of options. So leave all your joyous book recommendations down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.